One. Welcome. Hello.
Oh,
Today on this is number 4. Actually, we just shot 3 earlier. This is 4. We have one of my very, very, very great friends, Rose, and her boyfriend, Dave, and they own Chaos Guitars, and they are here local in the Lehigh Valley. And first of all, I just have to say I've known them both for I don't know how many years, probably close to 8. And
yeah.
it's an incredible journey just seeing people grow and evolve and everyone's children, so on and so forth. And so I just have to firstly say how much I appreciate our friendship, and that is such a huge value to me. I love you so much.
Love you too. Thank you so much for thinking of us in this.
Anytime, anytime. I mean, honestly, what else can we do in this time of coronavirus other than support each other? So I really just wanted to support people that either I believe in, that we do business with, that we value, like all of the above.
Mhm.
So Chaos Guitars, tell me about Chaos.
Well, Chaos was born about 5-6 years ago, and it came as a result of this chaotic creator right here next to me. Dave was a musician for many years in his own band. They were down in Texas, but life became life, and when that got hung up for a little bit, it took the back burner. So here we are all these years later, and Dave, he never lost his love of playing and has always built his own guitars. Why don't you tell him a little bit about it?
I just always built my own stuff because I couldn't afford to buy expensive stuff when I was younger. And it kind of snowballed from there. And we played for years and years when I was younger. And it just got to the point where the musicians we were playing with started asking me to build stuff for them and fix their stuff.
That's so cool.
Just kind of went from there. And I always liked having something that people remembered and that stood out and was different. And if you've seen our stuff,
Chaos, revolt. I mean, we're kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you can dream it, he can build it.
You know what? I've been following you guys since you started your social media presence with Chaos Guitars, whether it's on Instagram and whatever. And quite honestly, I am not a musician by any means. I played piano when I was a kid. What I really wanted to do was play drums and bass, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So listen, if you can build me a bass guitar and Scott can teach me lessons from DrumWorks, that would be the perfect world, because what else am I going to do at this moment in time, honestly? But I've seen your stuff that you've done for the zoo. I know, Rose, you're doing a brilliant work at the zoo in the meantime. Dave, you've built multiple instruments that have completely blown me away every time I see them, and I'm like, holy shit, how does this guy do this? Like, I don't personally have that skill, so like, to me it's like mind-boggling.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just do it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just, like I said, I always liked stuff that was different. I always wanted a guitar that glowed in the dark, so I built one. I always wanted a guitar. Yes. I was the guy around my fellow musicians that had wanted to take somebody's expensive Strat and start drilling holes in it, and everybody frowned upon that. I thought it was cool. So that's I was just the guy that was always doing the things that everybody kind of frowned upon, which now is cool.
I'm gonna raise the roof. That's so old school. I should have done that.
What's really funny in all of this too is that we are now finally getting clientele that is like that. That we have some of the best customers customers that basically say, here's money, you do what you do best. And
that's the majority of what we have now is people that come to me and say, I have a basic idea. We had a guy that came to us and said, I want a guitar for my son. Here's my basic idea. I don't really know where to go from here. Take it and run with it. And he pretty much wrote me a blank check and said, I trust what you're going to do. And he's since come back for another one. So
yeah, actually, what was that? That's the third one now.
Second. He did, yeah. He bought Penny Dreadful. We did a guitar called Penny Dreadful, which was based off an old crusted up penny, and that's exactly what it looks like. So
Dave goes for walks, and he calls them inspiration walks. And
you have to.
he finds art inspiration in art around nature. So something that catches his eye and says, hey, look at me, I'm dirty, or I'm broken, or I'm colorful, or I'm wicked looking, or I'm, whatever strikes his fancy, he'll take a picture of it and look at it and how can I recreate this?
I love that so much because Rose, as you know, being one of our guests in the salon, there's been so many times where people bring in pictures, whether it's a literal picture of nature and it's a complete sunset over an ocean, and they're like, I want this. I want it to go from midnight blue to sky blue to burnt orange to peach to nectarine. Like, there's so many things that you, as an artist, you have this awesome eye for that we totally love and appreciate, and it just really feeds our souls. And I'm sure Dave and you can speak to the same thing, where people are bringing these ideas and they're going to bring you an old crusty ass penny, and they're like, I want you to build me a guitar out of this, and you're like, psh, I got you.
I actually found that penny, by the way.
Did you?
Here's the funny thing. I found the penny, and I was driving downtown Allentown the one day, and across from where you used to be on Hamilton, there's an old house that has a copper awning that's all green and stuff. And
Love, by the way.
That's it. I'm doing it. And that's where I got the idea from, between the penny and the one side looks just like the penny and the other side looks like the copper awning.
Well, that's like Lady Liberty, right? She was
a
copper and she's all green now.
Yep.
But it's a little more
Patina.
Evil. Yeah, patina. Evil patina.
Whatever. Hey, you guys did a guitar for Symphony Hall in Allentown, right?
Disco Crocodile.
Yeah, we didn't do it for them. They actually asked us if they could display it.
Even better. I was gonna say more better, but that's not a word.
More better, or
it's more better.
Yeah, Disco Crocodile.
Yeah, it was a heavy metallic teal with a bunch of silver glitter in it, and it was they call a crackle paint job. So I'm sure you've seen it on old furniture and stuff where the paint actually crackles, but it was done on purpose, and it just turned out really well. And I forget how they found us, but they saw us somewhere and they were looking for a guitar display for some rock and roll show or something, and that's the one they wanted.
Rock of Ages?
Something like
that.
I don't remember.
There was a show, and that's what they wanted in the front window, and we have a picture of it.
I would love it.
Sitting there.
I would display that shit every day and night.
Somebody bought it.
Yeah, it's gone. That's the downside.
You go. So if I'm
try not to keep too many of them.
Well, that's the part. I mean, you're creating art and like you love it with your soul because you made it, but at the same time you're like, well, I'm in a business, so I kind of have to make money. So there's that.
There's that.
Whatever.
Hard to say whatever, and that's why we're starving.
Whatever.
Rose, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you're friends with Disturbed. Is that right?
There's been rumor of that. There's
Have
been rumor
there
of that.
been any artists in Disturbed that have taken advantage of your guitar crafting skills?
No,
Oh,
no. And
David
actually,
Draymond, we're gonna call you out right now.
no, it's not even, not, no, no. Honestly, I didn't even tell Dan anything
Well,
about this.
I'm going to.
No, 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 you're not. No, you're not. Nope. Because when chaos becomes a well-known shock value in the guitar business, in the car, in the guitar world, I want that to be like, wow, Chaos Guitars, that's really cool. I need to check them out. And then I want the light bulb to go off and be
And
like,
then Foot goes,
I
enough.
don't, I don't want this. I don't want to take advantage of friendships that I have in any bands
I
whatsoever.
love it.
This
I
has
love
to
that
be
about
on
you.
our terms and on our, the sweat of our backs that we do this ourselves. And if we get recognized down the road, fantastic. If not, it doesn't matter because it wasn't about them anyway. It's about us.
Let's be honest. It's about me.
Well, it's about
Let's
him.
be honest.
All about him.
So I know we had a draft guitar for the Lehigh Valley Zoo. I know we had a crocodile skin guitar for Symphony Hall. What else have you done in the Valley?
Well, we did a charity guitar for School of Rock.
Amaze. They're in Easton,
Mhm.
right?
Every year we try to do a charity guitar somewhere. We did one a few years back with community benefit where it was specifically for an individual who had passed away, and we did it for that one. But we also, again, did the one for the zoo, and we did one for School of Rock, which we approached Ray at School of Rock and said, we want to make sure that we keep giving back to the community, and we love what they do there. And the setup is amazing. The kids are fantastic. Their band is phenomenal, and they learn it all there. Everything
That's awesome.
from playing the instrument to singing to stage presence to like
Everything.
lock, stock, and barrel.
And they don't do it the traditional way
Yeah.
that when I was maybe I don't know 8 years old or so, I decided I wanted to play guitar. So I got an acoustic guitar and started taking lessons. And like 3 lessons in, when I wanted to play the Scorpions and I was playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, I was like, screw this. This isn't happening. So I quit and I never took another lesson. So they don't teach that way. They teach by ear, and you play what you want to play, which I wish was the way they did it when I was younger.
Yeah. So we wanted to help them out, and we created a guitar that we took their logo and tilted it a little bit so that it would fit on a guitar body that we had. And the owner loved it. So we did that up for them, and they actually used it as a
Silent auction.
silent auction, yeah, to help raise funds for the band itself to help get them out on the road and to support what they're doing. So it worked out really good for everybody.
That's awesome. Dave, when you grew, not that when you grew up, but when you were musically inclined, did you always play guitar, or did you ever play with a bass, or what's Dave like?
I started with guitar. I was always guitar, but I've played everything. There isn't much I haven't played other than the only thing I wasn't very good at was drums, and that's what I have my stepbrother for. But
Everybody needs somebody.
I kind of started with piano. I started
Same.
like legit music and reading music with piano.
Metronome.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was always guitar. I was always the guitar player. That's all I ever wanted to be.
So now don't shame me publicly, but so is it only bass that's like a 6 string and a 4 string and the guitars have X amount of strings, or how does that work?
Not anymore.
Not true.
Yeah, your standard is kind of 6 string guitar, 4 string bass, but now they're doing everything 5 string bass, 6 string bass. They're doing 8, 9, 10 string guitars.
Mhm.
They're really, the standard is really kind of out the window anymore.
Dave, what do you love the most? So, like, clearly, chaos is the two of you combined. Craziness, hellions. I'm a blast through your glass ceiling, which is what we're all about, obviously. So we love it and we embrace it. So, like, what about chaos can you tell us, guitar wise, bass wise, artistry wise?
That's all you.
It's chaos. I do what I want. That's what I love about it.
How about the Havoc series?
Okay, so my goal with all of this was, since I could never afford what I wanted and always built what I played, my goal was to have my name on a guitar and to have my own series and to have my own thing. So this, well, depending on what happens with this virus thing, the plan was this summer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give double one for that.
This summer we were set to release our, what we're calling the Havoc series, and we're starting out with 6 string, what's somewhat standard guitar, our own series, our own build. I wanted to take a custom guitar and kind of not mass produce it, but produce it. So you're getting an option of 4 colors. You're getting an option of 4 different electronics. You're getting options that you don't get when you walk into Guitar Center and buy something off the shelf. And you're getting more options than you get if you order something from a big company, and they're all hand built. So they're relatively price range wise, they're cheap for a custom, and you can't beat them. I mean, of course I'm going to say that because they're mine, but they're badass looking. They play good. They sound good. And it's my own thing.
Okay, so what if I came to you and, quite literally speaking, because I honestly do want to get into bass, because for whatever reason it has a pull and a draw. So, like, if I said to you, Dave, I want a bass custom made from scratch, is that something you're able to do?
Yeah, it's what I do on almost everything.
You take a piece of wood and carve that shit out and put a neck on it and put the strings on it and the frets and all that.
Somewhat. We don't. We have, and we used to in the past more so than we do now, because of CNC machining. It doesn't pay for us to. I can do it. I've done it. It would cost you a fortune in my labor to do that, when I can have a body CNC machine out of whatever wood you want for a lot cheaper than what it costs me to cut it and shape it. Unless, of course, you're not looking at starting with a standard shape.
So is there a particular wood that you prefer as far as shaping your guitars or bass?
We are using Polonia for our Havoc series, and I like it. There's this argument that goes on, and I'm probably going to take a lot of flack for it, but you don't have to worry so much about tone wood with an electric guitar as opposed to an acoustic guitar. Tone wood being the type of wood you use and the tone it gives you when you play. Because an electric guitar, you're plugging into an amplifier. Most guys are using effects with it. You're not hearing the wood. You're hearing the pickups. You're hearing what you have hooked up to it, as opposed to an acoustic guitar where it's all guitar. So I like this wood because it's light. I'm old. I got a bad back. But it's
Right? I'm old and I have a bad back.
that's exactly it. But it's nice because it is very light, and it's the same wood that a lot of guitar companies are using. Dean uses this wood on a lot of their guitars. It's a basic like basswood, or it's a good wood. It's not a mahogany. It's not a real hard wood. It's easy to work with. That's what I prefer.
So, would you say that you go out and you buy the material, or do you want your artists to bring you the material themselves that you are able to craft?
I want to buy,
Yeah.
because we had this problem with a couple things, and even somewhat recently, you get a lot of people, a lot of guitar players are funky. I know, because I am one. There's a lot of people that really know
Any artist, we're all crazy.
they know exactly what they want, and they are dead sure it's the right thing because they read it somewhere online, and they're not correct. And I have to, be as nice as possible and try to point out to them that it may not be what they really want. So I prefer. This is why we have kind of geared ourselves toward the customers that we have now, which are the guys that have seen our work, have talked to our customers that we have, and know our background, and say, okay, I trust them. This is take it and run with it, because I got 3 kids of my own. I don't need to babysit a guy that I'm building a guitar for. I can babysit my own kids.
Yeah.
Same.
So if you want that kick-ass bass, my best recommendation is to say, listen, I know you do amazing work. I trust you. This is what I like. I like these colors. I like this glitter. I like, well, you haven't started playing, so you can't really say you like certain things. So
Don't hate.
you can
I'm just
go on
kidding,
color.
I want it to look like this. The end.
Yep.
Dude, do you have a guitar that you can show us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only have like 1,000 of them here, but we brought one up. This is one of our amazing customs. And when he said he wanted a guitar that glowed in the dark,
I see it glowing already. It's blue.
this one does.
Rose, I'm reminded of the day that we saw it, and this is totally going local, but off topic.
Yeah.
Chris Angel
Oh my God.
at the State Theater, and Billy, is it Canupus?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to butcher that.
Yes.
Brother and or cousin is
Cousin.
my lawyer, so don't punch me in the head. But that was such a magical day of my life, and thank you so much for inviting me and meeting effin.
Yeah, that was a good night.
So good.
Good times. Good times.
I'm off topic. Back to guitars.
So I'd like to introduce to you crop circles.
Crop circles? Crop
circles, like alien crop circles.
Yeah, you should probably. Most of what we do turns into a theme at some point, and everything gets a name, just because
That's
I gotta call it something. So this one turned out to be crop circles. This is the one I said I felt like taking a guitar body and drilling holes in it. And that's exactly.
Is it all the way through?
Yeah. Woo!
Woo!
And the headstock too. And everything, all the insides of the holes are tapered. They're all coated with UV pigment, so they all glow in the dark. The strings glow in the dark. We're a DR string dealer. They have neon strings, so they glow in the dark. When you turn the lights out on this thing after it's been under UV light, it is phenomenal.
So, A, do you have UV that you can show us? And B, what would be the benefit and or there's absolutely no benefit. It's strictly visual for those holes.
Yep.
Strictly visual. We're not cookie cutter.
Okay.
So
I love it.
there's no guitar. I mean, if somebody says, I want an Eddie Van Halen,
We don't. Yeah, Frankenstrat.
We don't do anything.
I don't do clones.
Yeah, we're not gonna clone ones we've already built because they're customs. So you can have something similar if you like that idea, and we would mix it up a little bit and do it something that's going to be just for you, but we're not going to cookie cut anything. This is one of a kind. They're all one of a kind. And I don't think this one's ever going anywhere.
No. This one, my oldest son helped me with the paint on this one. So this was kind of a father-son project. So this one's never going.
Show 'em.
I love it. It's badass. And the back is bluish black and the front is green. Is that the screen is picking up? Is that right?
It's, yeah, the back is like a deep space blue and dark purple. And the front is more of a green, like a meadow type, almost grassy green kind of.
Under a moon.
And it's got the holes, the circles that go all the way through, and then it's got circles that go partially through, and you probably can't tell in the video, but all the lines here are all burnt in the wood, so it's all burning and everything. It's just different.
Again, don't punch me in the face. This is a guitar, right? Not a bass.
Right.
This is guitar.
There's a 6-string. This is what would have been your standard electric guitar. 6-string Strat style, which is the double cutaway with the 2 horns and the pick guard.
So, again, I'm not looking for a fight. What is a Les Gibson? These are the words I know, so don't be mad.
Gibson Les Paul.
Yep,
Yes.
that. What did I say, Les Gibson?
So cute.
I have one of those downstairs, but
Les Paul. That's what I said.
what you probably know is the Fender Strat, which is this style, and the Gibson Les Paul, which has the point kind of down here, and then this rounds over completely. It's a more rounded body. Originally they were a semi-hollow body. Now you can get them in all kinds of solid body, hollow body, semi-hollow body. You can get them in everything now.
All right. So everything so far with my novice has been electric, correct?
Correct.
Do you do acoustic?
We don't.
Well,
I mean, we repair. We don't build.
yeah.
It's a whole nother animal to build. We don't have the means to do it here. We don't have the equipment, the space. That's a whole nother animal. We do repair.
What can you tell me? I mean, aside from the obvious, electric and acoustic, what's the difference? Acoustic has a hollow body, or
yes, acoustic will be a hollow body. Electric will be 9 times out of 10 a solid body. Electric will have electronics. You'll have your pickups. You'll have all your electronics, and you'll plug it into an amp. In acoustic, now they're doing the acoustic electrics, which also will have a pickup in the bridge or something. But for the sake of argument, an acoustic is like a Martin acoustic. It's the bigger style. They're thicker. They got the sound hole in the middle. It's downstairs. I know. I saw you looking around.
Rose is like, how do I get it?
It's here somewhere.
It's louder without. This is louder with an amp. An acoustic is louder. If you're playing both without an amp, you want an acoustic that's louder. It's pretty. You want an electric when you play what I play. You want an acoustic if you're playing, I don't know what.
Kumbaya.
But that's the main difference.
Sorry, not sorry. But
There's nothing wrong with Kumbaya.
I'm all for a campfire and marshmallows. Dave plays electric guitar, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many strings on your guitar?
Depends on which guitar.
Okay, so There's no standard.
Not so much anymore. I would say 6-string is still somewhat the standard, but I stick to 6 and 7-string. I don't go any bigger, any further than that because I'm old and I grew up with a 6-string. And I got a hard enough time with 6.
Your fretboard is much larger then.
It's wider, yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to happen then.
There's a lot of things that need to happen, yeah. And now they have.
You could have your fretboard scalloped, which is something Dave does.
What does that mean? Tell me.
Here,
well,
I don't know if you can see it, but can you see the way the frets do
It goes
this?
like this.
It does, yeah.
Like a wedding dress.
Uh-huh.
Wedding dress?
Yeah, like at the bottom. And they kind of go.
Dave.
Whatever. It looks like boobs
Shake
or
your head and nod. It's the natural curvature of the body.
So Dave is one of the few people who actually does scalloping. And he also does, what do you do for your
Fret restoration?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell him about that.
As far as I know,
Like these are frets.
Those horizontal bars that run across the body of your neck, eh?
Yes.
Fretboard. This is the fretboard. These are the frets. I do. What happens when you play a lot, you get from the strings, you get grooves in these fret bars. And when they get bad enough, guys bring me their guitar and say, I want to refret my guitar. And I tell them no now.
And you're like,
but,
just kidding. Just kidding.
But what most guys want to do is they want to pull the frets out and put new ones in, which is time consuming, costs a lot of money. And these frets have little like fish hook barbs on them. So when you pull them out on the guitars they're bringing to me have been played for years and not taken care of. And it
wood goes.
It pulls the wood from the fretboard
splinters
out, and you can take a $3,000-$4,000 Strat and ruin it by pulling frets on. So I don't pull frets anymore. I restore.
So what I'm hearing you say is those horizontal bits that are metal, right?
Yep.
Are fish hooked into the wood on the neck.
Kind of. If you look at it from the side, if you pulled one of these out and looked at it from this side, it looks like a T. And the bar that comes down goes into the fret, and that bar has little barbs on it to hold it inside the wood. So when you pull that out, those little barbs want to pull the wood out with it.
Is that wood a veneer or is that wood a solid piece?
They're different. The majority, the standard usually is a rosewood. They do an ebony. They use different woods, but it's a wood. It's not a veneer.
So Dave, knowledge.
I know, you're going to be like so smart.
I'm smarter by the minute.
This knowledge.
But Dave will restore these frets back to new and
again,
take
so
those
don't
grooves away.
Punch me in the head. Those little boop, 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 those little circles on your neck. What are those?
Fret markers.
So what does that mean?
It's so you know where you're putting your fingers. If you look at a guitar, they're all in the same place. 3, 5, 7, 9.
Bam, bam, bam,
Right.
bam, bam, bam.
So like, you know when and they're up top
you know.
too. So you know where you're putting your hand.
Especially when you're learning.
Right here. Novice.
So that's that. Do you want to make it glow?
If you want me to. You're gonna turn the lights out. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, we're gonna try it.
You want to try it? You want to see if it'll glow?
We're gonna turn the lights out.
Woo!
I dig it. She gonna glow. It's a glow up.
It's a glow up. Oh. One light.
Too light.
Can you get that light in there for me?
I do see a blue glowing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the UV light. And are you ready for this?
We are ready.
Turn that one up. Oh, how do you think about that? The screen from the monitor.
Get it really close.
I do see actually if you hold it back a wee bit further, closer to your chaos sign, I can see it it looks like a sturgeon. Does anyone know what a sturgeon is?
I do know what a sturgeon is. Here,
You can probably cover
I'm going to cover that real quick and see what that makes a difference.
our cameras up higher.
Can you see it?
I don't see the guitar now. I feel like you need an alternate light source.
Well, that's disappointing.
That's the only bad thing. It's so hard to get on.
Are you trying it again?
Well, I'm wondering if we brought the UV light over. Well,
For what it's
because
worth.
I mean, it's glowing like crazy. It's just once
Oh
you get
yeah, I see it now. Like, ooh.
Yup, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see all those drill holes, and I'm sorry if that's not what you call them.
Crop circles.
I see those crop circles.
And the neon strings glow as well.
Are your strings specifically neon, or all strings neon?
just this brand has a neon, what they call neon strings. DR strings makes neon strings.
It looks like an octopus tentacle. It's all like.
Yes.
Yep.
In fact, that might be one of the next themes
Listen,
that we do.
I'm not joking you right now in the slightest. I need a bass that looks like Ursula that I can play.
Little Mermaid.
Uh,
The evil
Do
octopus
that.
witch.
Do that.
He's like, what is this shit?
Why did I take a seat?
I want to be right in the middle.
Why did I
Dave, you played in bands, right?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Played in some bands.
Don't you?
The end.
I started. I played really only in one band for many years. I started my own band in high school, and it evolved. Well, no, that's not true. I played in 2 or 3 bands, but in high school started my own band, which evolved into something much bigger. We moved to Texas, and we got to Texas as Pantera was leaving Texas. So we kind of stepped into that position because the band that was touring with Pantera in the Texas area then moved up to Pantera's spot, and we kind of scooched in there. So and we played around the South. So that was kind of our thing.
Again, you can slap me through the computer if I'm wrong. Vinnie Paul? Pantera?
Remember? Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't get slapped, thank Jesus.
I'm impressed.
I know some shit. All right, so Texas. Where in Texas were you?
We lived in Plano, which was right outside of Dallas, but we were pretty much just about right in Dallas.
Everyone knows Dallas. That's
Yeah. We could sit on our balcony and see the green buildings, the big building with the green neon line that goes up and down the side. We could see that from our balcony. You've seen the skyline of Dallas. You've seen that building.
That's intense. So, Dave, if there was one thing that you wanted everyone to know about KS Guitars, or about Dave, or about Rose, or your fucking calendar, or your Carnival of Chaos? Tell me about it.
Well,
Carnival of Chaos.
yeah, Carnival Chaos. I want people to know about the Havoc series coming out, because I'm hoping, my goal is to build that series of guitars and build on that, and then do maybe 2, possibly 3 customs a year, and that's it. I don't want to be doing the small stuff anymore. I do work for West End Music. I do all their work. I love doing that kind of stuff, but I get a lot of jobs, custom work, but it becomes tedious sometimes. I want the big jobs. I want the work, like we said earlier, where somebody says, I know what you can do, run with it. I don't want the guy that's breathing down my neck 24/7 call. I've had these people calling me at midnight wanting to know, oh, can we change this after I got a fresh coat of clear coat on their guitar or something. And I'm done with those days. I don't do that anymore. So, and I don't. We've come a long way, and we were just talking about this the other day. When we started a couple of years ago, I was building customs for a couple $100. We don't touch anything now for under $1,000, and it's just not worth. Not to sound cocky, but it's not worth the time I have to put in the drawings and the coming up with it, with the theory behind it all, and the everything. We were putting in so much time, and I was time away from my family and from Rose and everything. And then a guy would, we had one guy that put down $300-400 and walked out on the project, and we never saw him again. And I had $1,500 worth of work in the guitar already.
Yeah.
And I'm done with those days. I can't do it anymore.
So correct me again if I'm wrong, but what I hear you saying as an artist, and this is where it gets a little squirrely, for everyone who creates art, whether it's fabricating a guitar, fabricating a bass, fabricating a particular literal painted art piece, a sculpture, hairstylist, like there's tattoo artists. That literally came to mind when I was talking to you.
Yep.
Is that there's so much time that gets put into the exterior that nobody notices. If I get a text and says, hey, I have X and I want Y, and my mind goes because it's something I personally know is not going to happen in one sitting. Same as you, where if I come to you with it's a Les Paul, right?
Sure.
Yep, sure. If I come
No,
to
it
you
is. You're right. Sorry.
he's like, yeah, sure it is, bitch.
Stop it. I deal with that all the time. Stop.
If I come to you with my Les Paul and I'm like, I want X, Y, and Z, and you're like, well, that's going to take some holographic paint, and that's going to take some glitter paint, and that's going to take 5 settings of X, Y, and Z to get to that desired end result. People don't realize that. They see start, they see finish, and they think this amount of time and this amount of dollars. Would you say that's true?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't realize what goes into it, or they devalue the artist's end of it and the time that goes into perfecting what. Look, every artist wants it to be perfect for. Chaos Cat is wreaking havoc here.
Damn it, Cat. We are not Van Gogh. We are not Monet. We are not Dali. I get it. But we are in our own respect.
Yes.
Whereas it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes money.
Yes. Yep.
And I've had guys, and she's seen it, and it used to drive me nuts. I've had guys, when I'm halfway through the process, change their mind and then say, well, I can go to the store and buy that paint or whatever for half the price and do it. And
Then
now
do
I
it.
say, then you should have done that.
Yeah.
But back then, I would literally, I would lose sleep over it. I would beat myself up on it and end up doing the job for next to nothing because I felt horrible about it, not realizing my talent and my time is worth money.
I think I am so glad that you said that because there's so many times, and it's not just me.
Yeah.
It is my entire team. And I know you can speak from experience where you do something and or change something for little to nothing when it might have cost you X amount of time, X amount of money, X amount of, you might have even paid out of your own pocket for whatever it
Yeah.
is. And I think that's something that somebody who isn't in this business, and again, we're in completely different business. I do hair, you do guitars. Ugh, does it sound right? You do guitars.
But yet it's like that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the artistic end of it. It is.
Yeah.
People
And she
don't
yells at
want to pay for
me
art.
all the time.
I do. I yell at him all the time. And it's not, I yell at him because I don't, while the majority of our clientele do not take advantage, there are people out there who want to get everything for nothing. And
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
look, if it's free, it's for me. I get that. But when it comes down to materials costing us money and time that goes into business hours.
I got yelled at the other night big time because it was what, 11:30 at night or something, and
Yeah.
somebody was texting me about a job.
Yeah.
And I'm on the phone while we're laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I might have this job. I'm just, giving this guy info." She's like, "No, but business hours are closed." And I'm like, no, but this is important. This is no. And I'm horrible with that because I'll just try to help somebody.
I'm bursting at the seams right now because A, Rose, you know how much I love you.
I know.
And B, Dave, I know how much you are committed to your business. I can't even tell. My phone is on silent, but I hear it go brr, brr, when I'm sleeping.
Mhm.
It could be 3:00 in the morning, and someone's like, brr, "SOS, my gray roots," and I'm like, I gotta text him back. And to my husband,
No, you don't.
"What are you doing?" And I'm like, duty calls, friend. Like, I can't, when you own a business and you are consumer relevant, because that's the only term I can come up with right now. If your business
Centric.
is provided solely by consumers, you rely on the consumer at whatever day and time it is. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They're like, "Bitch, I got roots." And you're like, "Okay, how can I help you?" And I'm sure, Dave, you are the same thing. Someone texts you at 11:35 p.m. They're on the West Coast, so to them it's 8:30, and they're like, "Hey, man, I fucked up my fretboard. What can you do for me?" And you're like, "Boop, boop, 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 boop. Hey, here we are." Don't
One
let
of
me
our
know.
best favorite clients is on the West Coast.
You know.
1, 2 in the morning, my phone starts ba-bing, ba-bing, ba-bing. I'm like, oh, shit.
He's done. He's done for his day. He's texting me.
But
We-
we love Gary, if you watch this, if you see this, we love you.
He's awesome. He's
We
great.
love you.
We're not degrading anybody. We're simply stating facts.
That's it. It's just so funny. Again, like how you were saying, it's two totally different industries, yet we have the same problem. Not even a problem.
Absolutely.
The same circumstances. Because it's not a problem, because the clients are not a problem.
And people who don't own businesses And I'm not trying to degrade or demerit anybody. We love everybody so much and we miss you so much, and so does Dave and Rose. But you all are getting a wee bit of help while we are not. We've been shut down from every grant, every loan, every promotion, every whatever it is. And so that's fine. We're willing to take the hit for everyone that we love and everyone that we value. But at the same token, we still need your support. So, with that being said, if you need a guitar, if you need a bass, if you need something reworked, if you need something tweaked in the weave, maybe you don't know how to tune your instrument. Dave is here to help.
A lot.
I don't know shit, but I want them to help me.
Well, the good thing is everyone can go to our website, which is www.chaosguitars.com. Hit us up on Facebook at Chaos Guitars, Instagram, Chaos Guitars Official. Gotta have that official in there.
And if you're a hottie with a body,
Oh yeah, be a Chaos Kitten, bitch. We are always looking for models who want to model with our guitars.
Not me. I'm a hottie, but not with a body.
Well, I can't do it.
Unless it was big enough to cover everything but this.
And we're going to have a new website.
Oh yes, yeah. I've taken advantage of this downtime, and I have been working like 10 hours a day for the last week because our hosting for our website and our provider now is horrible, and I'm switching. And in order to do that, I can't just switch the website over, so I got to build an entirely new website, which is what I've been doing. So within the next 2 weeks, we'll have a brand new website, much cooler, much slicker, much easier to get around,
More streamlined,
more badass. It'll have more hot guitars on it, more hot girls on it.
Winning.
winning.
So look for that.
Yeah.
I dig it. So right now, for the time being, where can everyone find you?
Well, again, www.chaosguitars.com for the website, Facebook at Chaos Guitars, Instagram at Chaos Guitars Official. And those are the 3 places best to find us.
I do the Instagram, so if you hit me up on Instagram and have a question, a guitar-related question, don't hit me up and say, hey, how much is this going to cost me? And hit me with, 10 paragraphs of stuff, because I'll say, go check out the website because all the information's there. But if you want to hit me up on Instagram, I do the Instagram, she does Facebook. If you hit her up on something technical on Facebook, she will probably sit right where we're at right now and look at me in the living room and say, hey, how do I answer this? I don't do Facebook. I am not a fan of Facebook.
So, time. If someone wants to get a hold of Dave because they want a custom guitar or custom bass, and they're reaching out via social media, again, this is when within reason, because we've all had those people who have A and want B, and they need 100 different steps in between. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if someone truly needs help, whether they're building, modifying, adjusting, changing, whatever it is, what is the best place to reach you?
Instagram, if you're doing social media. Ultimately, I will send you to the website because of email. But if you have to go through social media and you want me, then go through Instagram. That's my deal.
If you want to email Chaos Guitars, it's info@chaosguitars.com. If you want to call and leave a message, you can do that too.
Or text from the same number. Text, I'll answer. I'm busy. I don't usually pick the phone up. That's why there's an answering machine.
What's the number?
484-408-0854.
I dig it. I love you both.
Love you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for thinking of us
So much.
and sharing your time with us tonight. And we can't wait. We would love to do a guitar for you.
Bass.
I want a bass.
Bass.
I don't know
Sorry,
how many
my bad.
strings. 4 or 6 or 5.
Ursula is all
Who
we
knows?
know.
You want 4. It's just starting.
We want horns on it.
When the first time we came to your place over on Hamilton, we walked in there and I said to her, I got to build a guitar for her because that is the badass logo and it would look awesome on a guitar.
It's seriously, it's so pentagram and so pagan.
Yep.
It-
But it's
After the
awesome.
but here we are. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
Well, good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you, Dave and Rose. I
Love
can't
you.
wait to see you in real person life and give you a real hug.
I know. This is not good. This is not good.
This does not
Not
compute.
good.
We'll see you soon. God
Okay.
bless.
Bye.
Bye.